If you go through the fundamental scriptures, which is the Upanishads and the Brahma Sutra and the Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta that is, they will clearly tell you that all the differences among all human beings are just superficial. Caste, color, creed, language, gender, economic status, age, persuasion, ideology, does not matter. Wherever you find differences, those differences are unreal. In fact, Sanatan Dharma goes to the extent of saying that because the world is just differences manifested, all you see is diversity, therefore the world itself is not strictly real. What is real is that which is not different from entity to entity. That invariable, constant and common entity is called Atma. So Sanatan Dharma is actually a great unifier. Rather than saying that it divides, etc., we must understand what the fundamentals are. Now, how they are practiced today is a different matter altogether, and we can take that up separately. But if you're talking of Sanatan Dharma, then you are talking of the thing as it is meant to be. You cannot take the distorted practice of something and then use the distorted practice to allege that the thing itself is despicable or worthy of criticism. For example, there is medicine, the entire scientific field of medicine. Now there can be a quack who does not understand medicine, who fraudulently practices some kind of forgery, and because of that his patients suffer, and there might even be cases of death and all those things. Now you cannot pick that example up to prove that the field of medicine itself is worth condemnation and should be dropped, and you want to eradicate medicine itself from the face of earth, as our friend has said that Sanatan Dharma should be wiped out. So it's barking up the wrong tree, straw man fallacy. One has to first understand what Sanatan Dharma is about. So all differences are superficial. All differences are superficial, and the reality in you is exactly the same as the reality in me. There are no two truths. There are no two truths. There are no two realities. Not only is the reality within you the same as the reality within me, the reality of the entire universe too is exactly the same as my internal reality. So the reality of the universe is called as Brahma, and my internal reality is called as Atma. And then Sanatan Dharma, which is best expressed in Vedanta, goes on to say that Atma and Brahma are identical. So that is the extent of unification. Where is the question of Sanatan Dharma being divisive or a promoter of inequality? So that was the first allegation. The second thing that he insinuated was related to caste. You see, caste is a social evil. And if you're talking of Sanatan Dharma, there are hundreds and thousands of books, and they would naturally exist because the whole thing developed over a period of a minimum of 3,500 years, and over a geography spanning from modern day Afghanistan to Bengal in the east, or even Kamrup, and then from Kashmir in the north to deep south Tamil Nadu, where our friend comes from. So there was an entire long period and a vast mass of land where things were happening, and therefore a lot of things were said, and that's why so many books exist. But not all of those books are to be taken as canonical. Not everything that they say has to be taken as axiomatic. Hmm? Only the very core qualifies to be called as the scripture of the Sanatan. And that core is Upanishad. If you want to understand what Sanatan Dharma is really about, and this goes out to all the ones who are watching this, listening to me right now, just read the Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra Gita is one scripture that very correctly and neatly epitomizes the very spirit of Sanatan. And having read that one, please tell me, where is caste, where is division, where is inequality, where is oppression? In fact, one complete Upanishad, the Vajrasuchika Upanishad, is devoted to denouncing caste. So the student comes to the teacher, that's how that scripture, the Upanishad runs, and asks, please tell me, what is caste? And the teacher, the rishi, smiles and says, okay, you tell me, where is caste? Is the caste of the body? So the student thinks and says, no, the caste cannot be of the body, because all bodies arise from the 5 basic elements, Panchbhut, and they are just the same. So they cannot be differentiated on the basis of caste. Then the rishi says, fine, does caste belong then to the true self, Atma? The student says, no, even Atma cannot have caste, because it's the same. It's the one thing, one final unified reality. So it cannot be differentiated on the basis of caste. So the sage then says that the conclusion is obvious. Caste then belongs neither to the body nor to the truth, which is Atma. It belongs to the domain of the mind. It is an imagination of the mind. It is an imagination of the mind. And specifically, if you go into Advaita Vedanta, it is repeatedly said there in so many words, very literally, that caste is unreal and false. Caste is unreal and false. So it is not Sanatan Dharma that promotes caste or brings in even the concept of caste. Caste is a social evil.